Hello and a fine Scottish welcome to a new Loaf About, a Loaf About in the Scottish Highlands. And this week Glen and I are going to climb up Beinn Dorain and Bein. And Beinn Dorain is the hill you'll all recognise on the way to Glen I, just south of Loch Rannoch and just north of the Greenwell shop in Tyndrum. So we parked up right next to the West Highland Way, just north of the Bridge of Orchy, and I jumped out the van and I was immediately faced with this guy. So apologies for the voiceover. When I got all the filming home, I discovered that the second microphone in as many weeks is packed in. I think the moral of the story is don't buy cheap equipment. So hopefully I'll have this rectified the next time. The walk starts from the car park next to the Bridge of Orchy Church. So we said our prayers and set off, and crossing over the busy A82, keeping an eye out for kamikaze motorcyclists, but ironically there wasn't a car in sight. So once we crossed the road, we made our way up to the railway station, and you walk through the railway car park and then under the underpass under the West Highland Railway, and Glen's just pointing out that the story begins here. We got to the top of the steps and looked for the footpath, but I was so taken by actually walking on the West Highland Way, we actually missed the footpath, so we're having a bit of a chuckle at that. We retraced our steps and eventually found the path, and how could we miss it? It looks like there's been a legion of Romans have climbed up here. So we've climbed all the way up and we're just coming up to the head of Dothaidh, I think it's called. And when you get to the Beinn at the top here, you can turn right to go to Beinn Dorain, or turn left to go to Beinn Dorain. I can never pronounce that. I always struggle with the Gaelic names. It was a wee bit cold and windy coming up there today. You know, the forecast was for it to be a bit warmer, but that might be later on. So I'm still a bit sweaty even at that. But it's a lovely walk, you know, up this glen. You go straight up, and then when you get to the Beinn, we'll turn right and go up to Beinn Dorain. Once we got to the Beinn and we turned right to start and walk up Beinn Dorain, it actually got really cold. The mist came in and it was damp and there was a bit of wind blowing, and it wasn't enough to blow the mist away, and we did get quite cold. So you know, it's a good job that we had our waterproofs and extra layers to put on. So you really got to watch, you know, when it gets like this, you can get cold really quickly. That's us at the top of Beinn Dorain. Not sure how high it is, but it's definitely over 3,000 feet because it's a Munro. So as you can see, it's a bit misty, I'm afraid. And as Jesus said to his disciples, "Parteth, O cloud, and let us see the view." And lo, the cloud doth parted, and we've got this magnificent view back up the road towards Tyndrum and the car park that we were parked in last night. All the way up the 82, past Bridge of Orchy, and the road turns round and heads up north towards Loch Rannoch. So we decided to take our lunch here. We found a little sheltered spot and had our sannies. On the way down Beinn Dorain, we've got this fine view of Dothaidh, and the path goes up, right up the middle, between the crags on the left and the crags on the right, and it's an easy climb right to the top, where you should, on a clear day, get great views of Rannoch Moor. We're making the final ascent up to the top of Beinn Dorain and Dothaidh, and you should get great views of Rannoch Moor here, but of course the mist set in again, so the views just weren't going to be there. So we wouldn't hang about here and get through the stone in the cairn and then set off down the hill to get something to eat. When lo and behold, 2 minutes later, the clouds parted again, and we just got this glimpse of Rannoch Moor. You can just see it under the cloud right round, and on a clear day you can almost see all the way down to Schiehallion. And even late June, the snow hangs up in the corries, and this is actually really deep, and I didn't want to venture out any further than this. So a bit of tomfoolery, and made my exit. We stopped for lunch again on the way back down from Beinn Dorain. This is Beinn Dorain with a covering of cloud. So I was doing a bit of a summary here, just explaining what we've all been through, and once again I apologise for the voiceover, the lack of sound, but I will get this sorted out for the next time. And it's quite an easy walk back down to the Bealach, and then all the way back down what looks like a Roman road, all the way down to Bridge of Orchy. So we're back down at the railway station here, and looking back towards Beinn Dorain, and of course the sun starts to come out, but the cloud is still covering the top, so we wouldn't have gotten a view or been as lucky as we were, when the clouds did part. So the little prayer we made at the start must have made a difference. So I was just sort of summarising the walk here, and I was heading down, and for the first time today I've actually used 2 walking poles, and what a difference they make, especially going up. But even on the way down, I suffer from sore knees for years playing football, and my knees are absolutely perfect today. I was a little tired because I didn't take as much food on board as I should have, but I would definitely recommend walking poles to anybody. So as a final treat, I thought I'd take you down and show you the actual Bridge of Orchy. And years ago I remember my mum and dad talking about the old roads up north, and I was lucky enough to catch the sort of end of that period, and this is actually one of the old roads that they talk about, and this would be kind of a main route, up north, and I can just see them in their old Ford 7 going up and over this bridge with a leaky roof on the way up to Glen I, on the road to the Isles. Sure by Tummel and Loch Rannoch and Loch Aber I will go, crossing over the Bridge of Orchy on the way. So that's basically it. It was a great walk, and I had to cut a lot of it short, you know, because of the obviously microphone problems. But it's actually quite an easy Munro to do as the first Munro. You know, there's not great exposure, and you know, it's an easy climb up to the Bealach and up to Beinn Dorain and then Beinn and I and back down. And we done it quite easily, you know, within I think it was about 4 hours. And then there's a lovely pub at the bottom where we had a pint, and also the Bridge of Orchy if you just want to sit and enjoy the view. So thanks again for watching. Please subscribe. There'll be another Loaf About coming along very soon.